sound off, anything. Tell us how much you love Kamala Harris. Doesn't matter. It's all good, and you're all welcome. 222-1180 is the number. We've heard over the last a year or two or so, increasing problems with like squatters, a concept where somebody can be in your property and you can't get them out, that somehow the law offers them more protections than you. It would seem like a maddening prospect. By Zach Alford. Sir, good morning and welcome to the broadcast.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your story, please?
Hi. So recently I bought a house in Dansville in June, and there happened to be a tenant staying there, and there's never been a lease with this guy. He's a squatter 100%, and he's the bills that he's left me with, the water bill, he's $2,100, the NYSEG bill of $2,000. He's destroying the property. And every time the cops come down, it seems like they're almost investigating me, that I shouldn't be down there. Just a very frustrating process. It is in the court process, and everything that I have been doing has been ran by the Livingston County Sheriff's Civil Department. So I'm doing everything I can, but it doesn't even make sense to me how he can get away with vandalism, destruction of property, and it's just very frustrating.
Was he living in there when you bought the property, or?
Yes.
Had he been like a renter from the last owner, or did he just move in, or what's the story there, please, sir?
So he was not a renter. My uncle had owned the property. That's who I bought it from. And he had no lease, nothing like that. From my understanding, he was just a friend who stayed one night, and then my father unexpectedly passed away in a motor vehicle accident in December. So with him passing, that guy just kind of stayed there, and then now it's my problem. But there's been a whole transfer of ownership. There was never no lease with this guy.
Has he ever paid rent or anything like that? Is he paying rent now?
No, doesn't pay $1 of rent. He actually has destroyed my sewer system. He's destroying the inside of the house as we speak. I have dumpsters on the property. I've spent probably $1,500 on dumpsters, and he opens the back door of the dumpsters and lets the garbage flow right into the yard. So really, he's just he'll walk behind me as I'm trying to renovate the property and, make it livable for my family. He's walking behind me and destroying all the work that I'm putting into it.
What do you want to do with the house, please, sir?
That would be my house to live in with my family. I just bought it, and I'm trying to get in there to do some work to be able to provide my family with a home.
Not to get into your business, but like what sort of situation do you live in now, please?
So the house that I'm technically living in that house. I moved myself in that house with the squatter so I could do the renovations. But my family is what I'm concerned about, because this guy is a registered sex offender, so I can't move my family in there. I have 3 young girls. So basically, I'm just staying there to try to limit, the destruction and limit it as much as I can.
So is your family like in an apartment or something like that, or staying with relatives?
No, they're in a house.
Okay.
So
but you bought this house for yourself. It's a family house. This guy's
Yes,
in
sir.
there, has never paid rent. You've had it since June. We're 3 months past that now, June, July, August. And the sheriff comes over and there's nothing that can be done. He's got some right to be there?
Yep. They say that it's all a civil matter. Anything he destroys, it's all a civil matter. They basically tell me that if we charge him, we would have to charge you. But I don't understand what they would charge me with, because I'm only renovating my property. I'm not destroying anybody's property. I'm renovating my own. But they tell me, well, if you want us to charge him, we got to charge you. So I just say, okay, I'll just take it to the civil court.
And the civil court can do what? Do you know?
The civil court will be able to evict him, and then I will be able to defend myself and prove with all the mountain of evidence I have of the destruction, and hopefully maybe, sue him civilly.
Do you think he's got anything to collect on? I mean, you can sue anybody, you can get a judgment,
Right.
but you may not, collect on that judgment.
And I don't think I would at all, sir.
Yeah. It's got to be maddening.
It's very They're very frustrating. There is a few cops that have, specifically Corporal Babocci with the Livingston County Sheriff's has helped so much in this process, and the civil department. Everything I do, I talk to the civil department and I make sure that I'm within my rights. They say, "Yep, you're okay," and then I do it. And he'll call different agencies. He'll call the town cops. He'll call the state troopers and tries to give them a different story, but nothing ever comes of it.
Can you give any examples of some of the damage he's done to the property?
He's taken a hammer to the sewer line, my main sewer line. He's taken a hammer to that. He's taken like drinks and threw them all over the walls after I've been in there. He's screwed doors shut, screwed windows shut, so all the windows are ruined by screw holes and stuff like that. He's let when I first got in there, he let 2 cats in the house, and basically one room in that house was a kitty litter room for the cats. So it's so unsanitary and so unsafe. That's already been cleaned up, but that's what I walked into. And he's literally, I went there yesterday, and on my NYSEG gas reader, there's a human defecation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Here's and certainly, I mean, you are a calm and decent and a good person, such like that. But there might be a temptation in a situation like this for some people to just go over there and clobber him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not saying that would be right, and I'm not encouraging that by any means. But stuff like this could be deeply, deeply angering.
It very much is. But I have to remind myself, I have a lot to lose, and I have a family, so I have to trust the process. I guess.
Well, I'm proud of you, sir. Any idea how long the process might take?
As of right now, we should be going to court in September. So I'm saving every piece of evidence I have, every picture, everything. I'm hoping that they can expedite it once it gets in there, but I can't speak for the legal system and don't know how that will go.
Gracious. This gentleman is from down in Dansville. Anything else on this we should know, sir?
Not really. I mean, I appreciate you letting me come on the air and talk about it and getting it out there.
Yeah, it's maddening. I'm so sorry. I hope that this gets resolved soon, and I hope that he finds a different and a better way to live.
Yeah.
Sir, thank you so much for talking to us. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
You take care. Some states, there's a lot more of this. New York is like squatter heaven, right? It is incredible, the nonsense, and it's twofold. It is, and our number is 222-1180 if you want to sound off. It's twofold what goes on in terms of our government. They hate landlords, right? And 2, they hate the private ownership of property. And so if you are a landlord and if someone stops paying you rent, becomes a squatter, there are incredible protections for that person and their supposed interests. And also, they don't, at their core, socialists don't believe in the private ownership of property. They don't believe that that's your house. You don't have any right to that. It doesn't matter if you paid for it, that you're privileged. No. And so this calls into question the entire concept of property rights. It's funny, if you look at the things that people were concerned about and talked about in the days of the founding of our republic, protection of property rights was maybe foremost, right? This is my land, you get the hell off it, was what everybody was interested in. And today it's kind of turned around, and your land isn't really very much your land. Quick break, then your calls on